I'm Aaron,
And I'm Eric.
and this is the new norm. Hey everyone, it's lunchtime, but the restaurants are all closed to eat at. We're all home with our families instead of in our offices, and we're all trying to figure out how to make lunchtime work in the new normal. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we do, I want to pass this over to my co host Eric to address an elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room is I mentioned on episode 1 that I have 7 children. I mentioned that our youngest was 4, and a number of you, my wife included, were kind enough to correct me that I also have a 7-month-old. So let's not forget about him. So I apologize.
Well said. Well said. So, Eric, why don't you let us know a little bit about what lunchtime looks like in your household right now?
Yeah, so a couple weeks ago it was pretty simple. Generally speaking, I didn't eat lunch. When I did, I'd go have lunch with my wife when our youngest 2 were napping because we didn't have kids at home. The challenge now is that 6 kids want to eat at different times because they're used to eating anywhere from 11:30 to 12:45. But we're also trying to make a good 30-minute window where we can take time as a family. And candidly, thus far, a week and a half in, we're struggling a little bit. What about you, Aaron?
Yeah, it's myself, it's my 6-year-old daughter, and my wife. My wife and I both work full time, so we're trying to get lunch done, both for us and for our 6-year-old in the middle of a busy workday. And I will tell you, it has not been particularly easy. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the challenges that you guys have found as you've been getting into this lunchtime routine?
So the biggest challenge is just finding that 30-minute window where we can ask everybody to shut down whatever it is that they're doing. It's still cold here in Minnesota, so there's not a lot of outdoor activity, but coloring, Xbox, reading, trying to find that 30-minute window that also fits into my schedule has been a bit challenging thus far.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I see a lot of the same things. I get a lot of meeting invite requests throughout the day, and a lot of times tend to conflict with lunch. At the same time, my daughter's used to eating lunch at the same time every day. She gets hungry pretty early, and she can't make her own lunch, which means either myself or my wife, who's also being called into meetings, need to find time to go make macaroni and cheese or put a sandwich together, or stuff like that. So it's definitely been challenging. What are some of the things that you've found that have worked for you guys in terms of making lunchtime work?
So thus far, I think it's really important for those of us that have worked from home for a long time. I think we've become used to grabbing a snack and taking that next meeting. We're setting aside 30 minutes every day. It just has to happen. If for no other reason than this new norm has created a lot of anxiety and stress for so many of us with just the uncertainty around what's going on. So setting time aside, making sure that in the case of my wife and I, that we've set that time aside going into the day. So we both recognize that lunch is going to happen at 11:30, and making sure that we've set the stage as well with the kids that they know with a maybe a half hour window, hey, we're going to eat in 30 minutes. Your dad's going to disconnect from work. We're all going to sit down as a family and enjoy a meal together. What about you?
Yeah, I think setting aside time is a really important thing. I have not done this yet, but it's in my plan for next week to actually go ahead and block off those 45 minutes in the middle of each day, and just say that I'm not going to be available for meetings during those. I know it's not always going to be possible, but setting that expectation, I know will help me put aside the time for my family. Um, Honestly, I find that doing that has sort of brought an added benefit to the day where now all of a sudden I have the opportunity to have lunch with my family every day instead of at my desk. I can rearrange those 30 minutes somewhere else. I probably would have spent them going to a takeout place to get food anyways. So I think really embracing the idea of making lunchtime a family thing has been a great opportunity for us to take a hold of. And the last thing is, a little bit of meal planning goes a long way. We've been making dinners that portion out into Tupperware very easily. We made a big piece of salmon with a bunch of rice the other day, chili, things that you can stuff into a tortilla to make burritos or quesadillas, all that kind of stuff you can make for one dinner and you can eat off of for lunches for the next 3 or 4 days, which really cuts down the amount of time on prep.
I love it. I love it.
So that's what we've found that's worked for us so far, and the challenges that we've faced regarding lunchtime in this new norm of ours. We don't have all the answers as always. We want to hear how you guys are addressing lunchtime in your own households. What are the challenges you're facing, the ideas that you've come up with, and what are the opportunities that you've found to make lunchtime work for you? Leave those questions, comments, and ideas in the comments section below. We look forward to hearing from all of you and sharing your ideas with others who are watching these videos. That's all for this episode. We'll be coming back with another video soon. In the meantime, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Eric.
And this is The New Norm.
But in terms of lunch, the kids are pretty used to eating
Hey, Brooker.
at a different time. Yep.
Hold on. I'm losing you. You're kind of cutting in and out.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.